Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rechah HaKudash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and root well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rechah HaKudash, Barakatham. It's the brother Kazaf from Minival 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be Instruction Over Feelings. All right, and it's more so going into, you got certain, other groups out there, that feel, some type of way because, brothers in Great Millstone and other, like-minded camps, follow the instructions in the scriptures, to rebuke, any group or any individual, that's going off. They have that unity spirit, that why we gotta be they call it camp banging, things of that nature, and ultimately it's like a defense mechanism, that they use almost like a female, to not be held accountable, for what they're doing, for what comes out of their mouth, really. In all, it's like they want to have this, go along to get along spirit, and ultimately, man, that's of the world, man. All right, because who does that is, the people in the world, just to go along to get along. People in the world, for example, they may disagree with the alphabet community, that particular lifestyle, but go along to get along, as long as they don't bring it about me is cool. You know what I'm saying? They do whatever they do. But see, that's the spirit you can't be in this truth, man. All right, scriptures talk about, standing up for righteousness, standing up, as bold lions. Now, when it comes to these other camps, and they make certain, certain statements that's contrary to the scriptures, contrary to the true doctrine. All right, what happens is, the scriptures instruct us to rebuke them. The scriptures instruct us to mark them. All right, now here's an example. A brother, channel name, is Biblical Defenders. All right, possibly an elder brother, man. A lot of brothers, share his clip. Very, edifying brother. And I say this humbly, you know what I'm saying. But the scriptures, so like the title is Response. Sakari versus, Small Hat Boys versus Israelites. Right. So, what he was getting at in this lesson, was the fact that the dudes in Sakari, they like basically, they on that black shit, man. Now me as an Israelite foreigner, man, that's not, you know what I'm saying, something that you wanna talk about, in the truth. Now ultimately, man, all right, there was a time when we were, all the tribes were dark skinned, we were back in our land. All right, but after that, the diaspora, you can't make that the end-all be-all as to who is Jake and who's not. You can't just put out that black vibration. What about the Latin tribes? What about the Native American tribes? And then you got the Israelite foreigners. Guess what? If it wasn't for the Israelite foreigners, these nations would not have anything to be proud of, man. All right, the only reason why, these Ammonites and Moabites, can walk around like their hands are sweet is because of Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Israelite foreigners, man. All right, not because they're just so gifted in the hands. They could barely even drive. You know what I mean? So just to give an example on that, man. It's just to the brother was basically, from what I was looking at the video, the brother was basically defending the gospel. The brother was defending the gospel concerning, the Gentiles, man. He can't be black-centric in this truth, So, going into the first precept, it's the book of Romans chapter 16, verse 17. All right, because this right here, all right, before I get into that, because this right here, now Sakari was recently, in the Scopeo. Elder Apostle Gabar, he went and did a video on them, a very, stern, rebuke video on them, you know, because of the guns, man. You know, they're bringing guns to camp completely, you know what I'm saying, completely not abstaining from appearances of evil, man. All right, they putting out an appearance of evil, especially if you look at what just happened, you know, in the events of the Texas shootings and things of that nature. And he come out, you know, with guns, and, you know, ultimately, man, they probably set up, man. You know, they probably set up to push that and ultimately, you know, have a hand in the persecution of the body. All right, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. You know, those false brethren crept in unaware to spy out our liberty, man. You know, they gonna do certain things, and, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be, you know, alarming. All right, it's gonna be, you know, pretty obvious and suspicious that they're not really sincere, man. Okay, now you got the brother right here, you know, he came out, you know, with this lesson, you know, further getting on them, and people would come out and get butthurt, like, oh man, why the brothers gotta be camp banging? Why brothers can't just get along? And this and that. Look, man, it's instruction over feelings, man. All right, simply put, it's instructions over feeling. It ain't nothing personal, but you're going off. All right, you got, okay, you know, you got these two dudes right here on the right, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, they probably from over there from Israel, you know, and they came, you know, up to debate or whatever. Now, instead of trying the spirit, you know, they want to go into the color, man. You know, and here it is, you know, we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Jake is still trying to go into and cleave onto that color, man. All right, riddle me this. What about the tares? You know, what about the tares? All right, but, you know, I don't want to dwell, you know, on the subject of the Israelite foreigners. You know, just had to make a mention of that. All right, now back to the, you know, to the topic at hand as to why, you know, we do what we do. All right, it's book of Romans chapter 16 verse 17. This is an instruction. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. All right, and that's what we're doing. We're marking them that cause division. Hey, them dudes right there, them Sakari dudes right there, hey, avoid them, man. Don't listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, because they gonna lead you astray. You know, they're over there bringing guns to camp. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, abstain from appearances of evil. Here it is in the wake of the Texas mass shooting. They don't go out and pull that. You know, but that's because, you know, something off. They're off, basically. You know, they might not be, you know, fully sincere concerning the leadership positions, man. They may not be sincere, man. They may have taken the Judas purse and they're, you know, hand in hand with Esau, following after his instruction to get us all persecuted in the end. All right. So continuing on, it says, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine. All right, now that's another example right there. Okay, offenses contrary to the doctrine, man. Now that's another thing. All right, this is an offense that's contrary to the doctrine. All right, now we're not gonna go and teach, you know, so like you're not gonna go, you know, all the way into the Israelite foreigner topic, you know, because we went into it many times, and, you know, the brother right here, he's going into it. You know what I'm saying? But this is an offense contrary to the doctrine, man. You know, here it is, our people scattered to the four corners of the earth, and you want to make, you know, being black what's it called? Well, basically, you want to make it to where, you know, if people aren't black, you know, they're not Israelites. You know, that's concerning, you know, the Israelite foreigners, people who look like the other nations, man. You know, they have to be black in order to be Israelites. You know, now you got the so-called, you know, Latinos and Native Americans. They might slide in, you know what I'm saying, with these guys, because they teach the 12 tribes. You know, but if you have, you know, people who look like the other nations, then it's, oh, you got to be black. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, you know, an offense contrary to the doctrine, man. All right. So let's go into another one. Rebuke them sharply. Okay. Rebuke them sharply. And we're going to go. All right. So let me see. So it's the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 13. And it reads, this witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. You see? Rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. And how is it, and how are you sound in the faith? Through doctrine, man. All right, through what's it called? Through conducting yourself, the right way. All right, through the right conduct, through teaching the right thing. Okay, and that's how you are sound in the faith. Is teaching the right doctrine. All right, now if you're not teaching the right doctrine, you going out there, you know what I'm saying? You toting guns. When it comes to people who look like the other nations. All right, because they could be the other nations. Ain't no opening the door and letting everybody in. No, man, we try the spirit by the spirit. If a dude is a heathen, he's a heathen, man. But if a dude is a Jake, he's a Jake. All right, that's where the sharp rebukes gotta come. Sharp rebukes gotta come, man. All right, because ultimately people are going off. We're not just gonna sit here and not defend the gospel on that go along to get along spirit, man. All right, I'm gonna read this again. This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply. All right, this witness is true, man. All right, it's truth over feelings, man. You know what I mean? We're not over here to make people feel good, man. All right, truth over feelings. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. Okay, so basically, you know what I'm saying, teaching the right thing, conducting themselves the right way. All right, and Sakari's not doing that, so guess what? They have to be rebuked sharply. All right, let's go into it. What comes out? Let me see. I have to look this up. What comes out? There it is. All right, now we're going to hit just a couple more scriptures concerning this. And then we're going to close out. All right, so book of Matthew, chapter 15, and I believe verse 20. Just getting straight to the point. All right, so Matthew chapter 15, verse 20. All right, it reads, "These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man." Salakia. Oh, Salakia. For some reason, you know what I'm saying, I misread that. Yeah, Salakia, that came out, you know what I'm saying, wrong. But I meant to start at verse 16. All right, Matthew 15, verse 16, and the reason Yahushua said, "Are ye also yet without understanding?" All right, now this is concerning, the Pharisees, going into that tradition of washing hands before you eat, man. And when the disciples, weren't washing their hands, they went up to Yahushua and, did that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua, pointed out their hypocrisy, ultimately. They pointed out their hypocrisy and, basically sunned them. All right, so Matthew chapter 15, verse 16, Yahushua said, "Are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goes into the belly and is cast out into the drought? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man." All right, and that's, going into what you teach, right? What your speech is, That's what that goes into, man. What you talking about, and that is one of the ways to tell, of a quality of an individual. What do they talk about? What are they saying? Those are the things that defile the man, because if all you're saying is wickedness, then that's just gonna defile you, man. All right, verse 18, "But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart." All right, so basically it comes from the heart, meaning it comes from what you're on. Now if you're teaching wrong doctrines, all right, that's the stuff that's defiling you. In this case with Sakari, with the telling, making it to where people who look like the other nations have to be black in order to be Israelites, all right, that's where they are defiled, all right, because it comes forth from their heart, which is carnal. Okay, they coming from a carnal place. All right, verse 19, for out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. All right, so again, he was going into what the Pharisees was coming up to him about, but the deeper meaning into this is more dealing with what comes out of a man's mouth, what a man is saying. All right, and like I was saying earlier, in the case of Zakari, that they being defiled with that wicked, with that like requirement that they're putting out, for the other, what's it called, for the other peoples that look like the other nations, man. That's basically it on that part. All right, so it's gonna go into the next precept. There was another one I wanted to bring out. Oh yeah, I know what it is. All right, heart deceitful. Whoops. All right, this ultimately, more geared toward, anybody out there, comes across this video that has a problem with the way, brothers in Great Millstone and like-minded camps that teach the same doctrine, it has a problem with the way, we go and rebuke, the other groups, man. All right, you gotta get out that spirit, man. Okay. Because the scriptures tell us contrary, man. The scriptures tell us otherwise. All right. So book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. And it reads, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? All right. So that's, a spirit that comes from the heart. That, we should all just get along. No more camp banging, come together. Okay, yeah, that sounds nice. You know what I'm saying? It sounds nice, right? But that's not what Yahweh Shem Yahushai has in mind. And at the end of the day, when you got different groups that teach different things, how could two walk together unless they be agreed, man? How? You got different groups that teach different things. How could two walk together unless they be agreed? How are you going to sit there, push camp with somebody that's teaching something that the MOTB is something else, man? How? That is something that is, vital to your salvation. How could you sit there and teach that to somebody, man? It doesn't make any sense. But that's why, we have our instructions in the scriptures. And that's why we do them. All right? That's why we do them. We're not going to sit here and play patty cake and, this thing ain't a kumbaya session, man. All right, this thing is about the truth, pushing out the true gospel. Okay, prophesying the downfall of this kingdom, warning our people of their transgressions. All right, that they may repent. And only the elect is going to repent. Even salvation is exclusive, man. Ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is a separatist, man. All right, he separated us, the children of Israel, from the nations. All right, and guess what? Even amongst the children of Israel, not all Israel is of Israel. Okay, we're gonna close out with that one. All right, not all Israel is Israel. Okay, now let's go. Romans chapter 9, 6 through 7. All right, so Romans chapter 9, verse 6, and it reads, not as though the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai hath taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, man. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, that's why things are the way they are. Okay, you got these other groups teaching, false doctrines, all right, doing things the wrong way, going off, and we over here rebuking them. And you can't get mad at that, because at the end of the day, not all Israel is of Israel, man. You got Israel, then you got the elect. Not everybody's of the elect. All right, so the better, the sooner you snap out that, that spirit, the better, man. All right, and if you don't, then you're not of the elect, simply put. Because the scriptures say that, plain and put, man. All right, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right, so, hey, man. That's basically it on the lesson, man. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, Ba'ashim Rakha Kodash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. The will in the lesson was edifying. All right, and it's mainly, going more towards, those that have a problem, feel some type of way, that we have to rebuke the other groups, man, that's teaching, off and going off, man. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next.